Hello everyone. Today we're going to be going into a new section 8.3 and this one's going to be all about graphing quadratics. And so for this first video we're going to learn about finding the vertex by hand. So if we're just given the equation, we're going to learn how we can use that equation to actually find where our vertex is. And so the steps for that is that when given a quadratic function f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c, the steps to find the vertex are, first you're going to find your AOS. If you remember, that just stands for axis of symmetry. And the axis of symmetry is given by this equation here. The axis of symmetry is x is equal to the opposite of b over 2a. So that's my first step. That's going to find my x value. Second step is we're going to plug our AOS into the function and then solve for the y value. And then lastly, we're going to write the answer from part 1 and part 2 as an ordered pair xy. So let's go through a couple of examples. So here we're going to determine first if the function has a maximum or minimum. Then we're going to find the vertex and y-intercept. So remember, it is a maximum if a is less than 0 and a minimum if a is greater than 0. So I want to go ahead and determine whether it's a max or min first. Here, my a value is just 1, and that is bigger than 0, and so that means that this one has a minimum. Next, I want to find my vertex. So my first step is I need to find my AOS, and that is just equal to x equals opposite of b over 2a. And now I need to plug in my a and my b. Well, I know that my a is just 1, and my b is -4. So I'll have -4 over 2 times a, which is just 1. Well, when I have a negative of a negative, that's really just a positive. So I have a +4 over 2 times 1, which is 2. And so I get that x is equal to 2. Now that I found my x, to find my y value, I just need to plug in x, or 2 in for x in this equation. So I have that y is equal to x squared minus 4x plus 3. Well, everywhere I see an x, I'm going to instead put 2. So I'm going to have 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 3. Well, 2 squared, that's really 2 times 2, which is 4. 4 times 2, I get 8. 4 minus 8 is -4, -4 plus 3, and I get -1. And so that means that my vertex here is 2, -1. And then my y-intercept, that is always going to be my c. And so it's just going to be 0, comma, whatever c is. Here, my c value is 3. So that means that my y-intercept is just going to be 0, 3. Let's try another one. So this one is f of x equals -2x squared minus 4x plus 5. First, we're going to see whether this is a maximum or minimum. Here, my a value is -2, which is less than 0. So that means that this is a maximum. Next, I want to find my x value, my axis of symmetry. So I want to go ahead and just label my a, b, and c. So my a is -2, my b is -4, my c is 5. You can read this -b as just the opposite of b. So I want the opposite of -4, which is just going to be a +4. So for your b, you're always going to take the opposite sign since this one was negative, it now becomes a positive. And then I'm going to have 2 times a, and my a value here is -2. So I have 4 divided by -4, so x is equal to -1. Now to find my y value, I just need to plug in -1 for x. So instead of -2x squared, I'm going to have -2, -1 squared, minus 4 times -1 plus 5. -1 squared, I get just a +1. And then negative 4 times negative 1, I get a positive 4. Negative 2 times 1, I get negative 2. Negative 2 plus 4, I get 2. 2 plus 5, I get 7. And then for my y-intercept, that's just going to be 0, comma, whatever my c value is. My c here is 5, so this is going to be 0.